Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button, just that little red button below on the bottom right hand corner. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate the support. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how all the different apps really kind of differentiate and how I use them for different reasons when buying and reselling phones. So with that said, let's get into today's video. So to first kind of lay the groundwork, as you guys know, I typically, whenever I receive a phone, if it's not like cracked or anything like that, just a normal used phone, I will typically list on the local marketplace for about a week. And if it just simply doesn't get traction and people aren't interested, it's mainly based on the price point, and obviously that's with more expensive phones. I'll typically go ahead and list on eBay there afterwards. And one reason I really do that is simply because there's some time where obviously if you have the bill of sale you should be fine, but obviously some people will still go ahead and file insurance claims, and there can be problems with that. So I'd wait about a week or two just to kind of mitigate and make sure that the phone nothing goes wrong with the phone, because on eBay you obviously want to sell like the best phone condition you possibly can, and you want to sell it just exactly how you describe it, and you don't really want to have to deal with returns from like people filing insurance claims when they shouldn't have, because simply you got that bill of sale and obviously they transferred that ownership of the phone. So just a lot of things can go wrong. So that's one reason why I typically will list on the local marketplace first. And secondly, it's just quicker cash. I mean, obviously if you guys probably know, eBay will hold your money for some period of time, and then therefore you don't have that money to go out and buy more phones. But first, getting into it, and I'll talk about eBay. I usually only sell phones that I have a bill of sale. If you guys are forgetting the bill of sale, I would avoid eBay at all costs, simply because like phones can go bad, but obviously you should take the precautions to know that a phone shouldn't go bad. You have a trusted seller of that phone, you checked all the IMEI, you checked everything about the phone, making sure it's in check. But again, if you forget that bill of sales, it can turn into a bad IMEI phone and you can't get screwed that way, and obviously you don't want to take a return on that. So again, that kind of mitigates with listing it on the local marketplace for a week, just to make sure that it doesn't turn into a bad IMEI phone, because then you can just go sell on eBay, and yeah, that might suck, but you're usually going to be lowballing these people at a price where you should just get your money back selling as a bad IMEI phone. And second type of phone that I usually will list on eBay is iCloud locked, because obviously nobody wants to buy in the local marketplace other than a reseller, and they're going to be offering you a price probably similar to what you had bought the phone for, and or less than that. So iCloud phones I typically will always list on eBay just as iCloud locked. There's just millions of buyers out there on eBay platform rather than the local marketplace, and it's going to be much easier to sell. And then, as I said before, bad ESN. As I said, I don't typically will just go out and buy bad ESN phones, but if something happens where it turns into a bad IMEI, and if I forget a bill of sale, which I never forget anymore, I used to in the beginning, and I hope you guys aren't either. If you had to have a bad IMEI phone, pretty much the only people that will buy it will be on the eBay platform, where you can either make your money back or just make a little profit or a little loss. So the second platform that you guys are probably selling on and posting ads on is Facebook Marketplace. It's something that I always talk about in my videos because it is the most trusted platform in my opinion, simply because people have exposure to all their information on that platform. It's kind of hard for people to fake information because Facebook regulates that very well. But Facebook Marketplace, I've recognized, is great for selling brand new phones, especially just anything from an iPhone 7 Plus or newer, even an iPhone 7. But typically you just have to think about it. There's going to be more people on that platform that are more higher class. If you think about it, most people in middle class and higher class, whether you like it or not, are probably not on OfferUp and Let Go, simply because I don't know, they're willing to pay a higher price for a phone, and obviously that's phones like iPhone 7 Pluses and newer. So with that said, I like to sell those newer phones on that platform, or at least try to, because you can usually get a price higher than I would on an OfferUp or Let Go, People just tend to generally have like more money on that platform, more middle class and higher class will look for used phones on that platform, rather than OfferUp, which is more like a local kind of looking for a different kind of carrier kind of phone. But overall, Facebook Marketplace is definitely something I recommend you list all your phones on, but typically I will get traction on phones anywhere from like an iPhone 7 Plus or newer. So the next two platforms, I kind of group them into two, is OfferUp and Letgo, because honestly they have the same kind of target market. It's more of like that lower class type, like lower middle class kind of audience. And with that said, you're gonna find a lot of people on that platform that are trying to buy like smaller carriers. So for me, some of the two big carriers in my town are like Cricket and Boost Mobile, which obviously those aren't big internationally, but in Tucson, Arizona, they're a pretty big market, probably just because they have cheaper prices, and obviously they don't have as good a connection, but people here typically don't have as much wealth as people in other parts of the United States. So for me, when I buy like a Cricket or Boost Mobile phone, it's very hard to sell on like Facebook Marketplace, but if I try to list it on OfferUp and Letgo, it typically will go pretty fast. Obviously, I have to list it at the correct price and a reasonable price. But with that said, it usually goes for about phones within $300 or less. It's kind of hard for people to buy over that. Just it's obviously going to depend on where you're located, and it is like when I go up to Phoenix, Arizona, OfferUp has a lot like newer phones on there, and like more people are willing to pay higher price. But like for me in Tucson, Arizona, it's a lower like slash middle class kind of town, so people aren't willing to pay that kind of money, and they recognize that. So a lot of those phones that will sell pretty fast are like iPhone 7s, 6 Plus, 6S Plus, and 6s. You don't believe how many kind of phones there are out there in my local marketplace just for like Cricket and Boost Mobile. So that is a lot of my market, and as I move on in life, like move to different locations, I expect that to change, but you just have to adapt to your environment. I mean, wherever you guys are, whether it's internationally or just like in a different state, obviously there's smaller carriers all around. You just kind of have to look over time and appraise the phones correctly, because like phones here won't obviously go for the same price as they will in Phoenix. I'm usually going to make a less profit here, or just a lesser price I'm going to have to sell it for if I do sell it on the local marketplace. And Craigslist, I don't really ever list a phone on there, because there are a lot of people like bots and like scammers out there that will try to make you ship the phone, and I only want cash. If I'm selling locally, I'll only do cash, but if I want to ship out a phone, I'll simply do it through the eBay platform because it's so secure. But usually Craigslist, I typically just use it for like posting ads and stuff like that, like the wanted ads that we go out and put out to have people come to us for phones. It is effective on that point. And obviously, if you guys do list phones on the Craigslist platform, you might have some success, you might have some traction. Again, it really depends on your local marketplace and like what kind of market and like target market there really is, and what kind of buyers there is. But for me, Craigslist is simply where a lot of people just list phones, but I typically don't want to list it on there. Again, because I like OfferUp, I like the review base, and Facebook, I want to meet somebody that could be like a credible buyer, just to protect my safety and stuff like that. So overall, I use those four main platforms to really kind of buy, sell, and put out ads. But each of them, as you can tell from this video, has their own purpose, and obviously they might change a little bit for you. Again, it really depends on like your local marketplace and what kind of buyer you might be targeting. But I think you'll have a kind of a similar tendency with kind of like the age group, the kind of wealth, or rather like wealth status of people on each platform. It's probably just like a general consensus. I mean, Facebook is probably I can almost guarantee Facebook is going to be more of an accredited platform for you rather than OfferUp and Letgo. But those two platforms also will be a lot more beneficial depending on the type of phone you sell. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Again, hit that little subscription down below. It's just that little red button below. Join the family. I'd really appreciate the support. And if you're not in that phone flipping Facebook group, it is that first link down below. It's free to join. Just have to answer 3 questions. And if you tried to join it and I haven't accepted it solely because you haven't answered the questions, it's just a small thing I ask for giving you value every single day, because I do tips of the day, stuff you don't really find on the eBay platform. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.